my name is Delaney Sleston-Devlin, and today we are outside of South Hall.
My name is Clarence Willie Allen. I am a third/fourth year. My co-op was at the CSKC, and my title was the Coretta Scott King Student Coordinator.
What is the Coretta Scott King Center?
So it is a race and equity diversity center that focuses on making sure establishments like the school and other centers that focus on education, health, and several other factors of life are both including diversity, looking at the points of diversity, how colonization and colonialism has affected the world today, and how we can improve the lives of POC students as well as queer students and just people of diverse backgrounds across the board, with the primary focus on Black and brown and trans individuals.
That sounds great. And so how did your role as the event coordinator kind of coincide with the overall mission of the CSKC?
Well, personally, it's helped me in and out of work. For parts, being able to be there for students of colors in areas where the CSKC has not been there before in the past. Some examples have been so we've had incidences on campus and outside of campuses where students got stuck somewhere or needed mental assistance for getting a psych evaluation or needing to go to the hospital, and being able to provide those resources to get somewhere or be able to do something has been very eventful, as well as organizing different events that kind of just bring together that groupness. And the good thing about it is it doesn't exclude anybody. It's more like a primary focus on specific people, but if anybody needs help, we're there to help.
What did a typical day at this job look like for you?
So a typical day is you go in and we start reorganizing files, because a lot of stuff was not so there are certain things that we have to, criteria we have to make, certain events that we have to plan to make sure there's spaces held for these people who don't necessarily have a space in the general world. Mm-hmm. For example, people who may identify with Native American heritage, or as many factors as that is, there are several events, and while we may not have a large population on campus, we then have to go out and try to find different events and how we can help these organizations and other communities to flourish. And so that may be something we would do on a daily basis. The more things that happen more often though would take place after work, and just it's more of on a personal level, being able to do this and having the ability to help somebody who may not have access to this is really awesome.
That's great. And so what was their favorite thing that happened on your co-op? Either an event or a situation with a person?
Definitely my favorite thing was definitely being able to go and help with finding different organizations outside of the campus and traveling to other states.
So why did you travel to other states?
Well,
why?
because they're so Ohio has several programs and organizations, but the point is to find different organizations to help the school flourish, as well as just helping specifically, again, Black and brown students and queer, trans, Black and brown students flourish in life, because the system is set up in a way that makes sure that these people are either dead by the time they're 20 or kind of in prison, in jail, some kind of servitude, which they have no choice to.
Mm-hmm. And so it was nice to go out of state and just connect with these other organizations that had the same mission, the same goals, and kind of help. Is that? That,
and then also being able to branch out and find different people who maybe they don't come here, but they find somewhere to go. That can be very helpful.
What are the things that you learned on this co-op?
I would say keeping a chill manner.
Okay.
Being able to keep calm in high level stress situations has been very helpful. I'm trying to think of something I've learned, because a lot of the work I do was the way I was able to do it in the way I already kind of have been able to take it all in without it being too overwhelming, which is why I really enjoy working at the CSKC, is that a lot of the skills that I had to learn as a kid taught me these things.
Can you give some examples?
Well, for example, when I was in third grade, our teachers, and this is a very common thing in Georgia. I don't know if it is still today, but when I was growing up, it'd be they'd tell you to look to your right and look to your left. Statistically, one of us would end up dead and one of us would end up in jail. The other may be okay. The reality of it is if they didn't, how accurate that is, because I kid you not, the kid next to me, his name was Xavier, and I can't remember the other kid. Xavier ended up dead. And the other kid, I think he actually did end up in prison when by the time I was like in 5th grade, which is like how quick you realize like it's a very accurate statement.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I look back on like lessons like that, like another thing is like also I went to a lot of private school by the time I was like I want to say in 6th grade because my mom was like this public school system isn't really doing what it's supposed to do, but also I like grew up learning a lot about like how colonialism like affected the world. So like race theory isn't anything really new to me. It's like that was like a big portion of like my childhood.
How do you think like your co-op at the CSKC affected that, like positively, negatively, just in general?
It let me, well, for one, it let me help, in particular to the queer aspect to my life. It allowed me to find different outlets and other people to aid in ways that I didn't always have as a kid. So, like, one of the things that we did focus on, I remember the first time I started working with this kid, CSKC, was finding different, like, programs and housing programs for other queer centers. And I ended up sending that, I think, to my supervisor at the time, and so I believe they sent that to like different people or a group of people who are looking for housing for young queer kids that are being kicked out of their houses.
Do you have any advice for someone else who might be doing the same job that you had?
The job has a lot of laxities, and I feel like sometimes the school fails to recognize the importance of the job of the CSKC, because one thing is it's a business, like the school is a business, so they're trying to make ways of money, but the school also has or stands on the grounds of trying to make the world a better place for impoverished and abused and kind of like people who just really got the short end of the stick in life. I would say, if you want to work at the CSKC, probably start thinking about like the projects you want to work on, because a lot of it is going to end up being like projects that like there'll be some that the school has for you. Like the school has projects that they want to work on, but you'll get a lot more done if you start working on projects that kind of like cater to you and like how you want to help a community improve, how you want to help the school like come together. Mm-hmm. And really try to connect a way for like that to connect to the school, because if you can get the school interested in helping someone else, that's more money, more funding, more et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. Is there anything else?
No.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.